A lot of people reacting to what Joe Burrow had to say about concussions yesterday. And he was on Colin Cowherd's podcast and said this about the position you play and you sign up for.
Part of what we signed up for, you're going to have head injuries. You're going to tear your ACL. You're going to break your arm. That's the game that we play. That's the life that we live. And we get paid handsomely for it. And so I think going into every game and, we know what we're getting ourselves into.
All right. He also had this to say about concussions he suffered.
Like I said, I've had some where, I don't remember the second half, or I don't remember the entire game, or I know that I got a little dizzy at one point, but nothing long lasting.
All right. People reacted like, oh my God. Well, this is what you sign up for. Sometimes you don't want to hear the answer. It's like, hey, look at that steak. Do you want to know how you got that steak on your plate? No, not at all. Surgeries. Oh, successful surgery. Yeah, I'll tell you how I did it. He asked a direct question, and he got a direct answer from Joe Burrow. I did that with Troy Aikman, did that with Drew Brees, did that with Kurt Warner. We're shocked when they're honest because a lot of times they have to be dishonest. Drew Brees said he wouldn't even tell his wife if he had a concussion. He told us that the other day, that he would lie. So if you're 24 years of age, like Tua, is he going to go to the sidelines and go, hey, I got a concussion. I need to come out? He's going to go, I think it's my back. Dan Orlovsky said that. Look, if I was playing, I'm 24, I'm lying. Chris Sims joining us now. I mean, you busted your spleen. You probably still tried to hide that when you played, didn't you?
I did. You're saying it right, Dan. 100%. It's a performance business, and then you put yourself into Tua's shoes to what you're talking about. First off, football players want to play football. Quarterbacks are usually and generally love the game in all aspects of it, right? They've got a little mojo. It's the first time in his NFL career he's got some positive stuff going on with him. He knows he's got a pretty good backup, Teddy Bridgewater, behind him. He doesn't want to give him that chance. So yeah. Again, I've said the Florio a million times when we had this conversation. If I was in today's NFL, I got my head hit hard. I'd get up doing something with my shoulder. And yeah, there was no way. I was bleeding internally and dying out and bleeding out. They weren't taking me out of the game. I didn't know I was that. I thought maybe it broke, a rib and it was touching my lung or whatever, but it is the nature of the beast. I think Joe Burrow hit this, perfectly. I at no point thought Ray Lewis running into me at full speed was good for my body when I signed up for football. I wasn't like, I think I'll live longer if Ray runs into me full speed and just cleans my clock a few times. So it's a big boy sport. It's a sport of big people. And, of course, it's a lot of intensity and people fighting for their careers, and that leads to some violent, hits on the football field.
Okay, how do you have your spleen get what was the medical term that did it explode, and who hit you?
Well, it was Thomas Davis, right, and Chris Jenkins. It was kind of a double whammy. We had a play called 23Z in, and I thought I was going to have the curl route open, and somebody flashed in front of it, and now I cocked the ball back because the pocket was collapsing, and I was going to throw the ball out of bounds, and I saw Thomas Davis coming at me, but as I was throwing the ball and got in that compromised position, Chris Jenkins hit me from behind, and it really extended me, right, almost into a back extension. And that at that moment is where Thomas Davis put the crown of his helmet right in the soft spot of my belly. And yeah, you're not thinking you're bleeding internally. I thought maybe I broke a rib. I didn't know what was going on, but I was extremely uncomfortable. And I kept telling the medical staff I could play. And thank God after the game, the doctor was like, hey, let's just go to the emergency room because it might be your spleen. And thank God he did that because I don't think I had a whole lot longer to figure that one out.
All right, assess this game tonight. What's wrong with these two? Let's start with these two quarterbacks. What's wrong with Russell Wilson right now?
All right. Obviously not comfortable in the offense quite yet. And honestly, I got to say a little bit, I got to put some on Russell here altogether. I did a long breakdown of this on my Chris Sims Unbuttoned podcast a little yesterday where, there's some plays there to be had right now. Russell Wilson is not seeing the field real well. He's a little unwilling to pull the trigger. and play football within the pocket the right way for the quarterback position. When I watch them over the first 4 weeks, I go, Dan, if it's not a one-on-one shot, or if the first read's not wide open, then I don't know what's going to happen. He's going to look around and look at the rush and lose sight of things downfield and throw a check down or end up having to throw it away. So he's certainly not playing very, very good football. And, they're running the ball okay. The system itself, I know that system. It's rooted in Gruden and Shanahan and McVay and all that. So I really know the reads and understand it.
But can it be fixed in Denver?
I do think it can be. I do. They got to just, he's got to trust the offense, trust what he's seeing a little bit more. And there is potential there. The O-line, like we said, it is pretty good. And Judy, Sutton, and then KJ Hamler there are dangerous that way. So there's meat left on the bone. And, yeah, I'm not giving up on their offense. There's enough answers within the scheme. Russell's got to play better and trust the offense a little bit more.
All right. What's wrong with Matt Ryan?
There's a few things here. Now, one is lack of things to be scared of on the offensive side of the ball. I think that's the first thing. They got no Sutton, Judy. Michael Pittman Jr. is a very good receiver, but not the kind of guy you go, whoa, we got to reorganize our defensive game plan and double him, or we're going to be in trouble because it's going to be bombs away over our head. They have no element of that scares you in the pass game, let alone I think you couple that with Matt Ryan's inability to scare you with his ability to push the ball down the field. And now we're talking about an older quarterback, yes, who is getting horrible pass protection and can't run the football. That's one there where I don't know if it's fixable. As in the Denver, I say there's still potential. This one is scary. I mean, the fact that it's the worst scoring offense in football. They get, sacked a lot. They make a lot of mistakes and turnovers. There's nothing good right now. Both of these offenses are reeling, but I'm a little more concerned with the Colts than I am Broncos.
All right, how far into the season do you make an assessment this is who this team is?
I would say give me another few weeks. I think,
end of October?
Yeah, about the end of October, maybe even mid-October, where you get through we're getting close there to six games where I'd go, this is really them. This is how they're going to play. This is an issue this year. It's not like, it's a 1 or 2 game blip. It's I've been saying this 4 to 5 weeks, and that's where I'm a little concerned with the Colts, because it's really been almost every week. And the one game they won was the Chiefs, where they had 3, 4, 5 shamrocks up their butt to pull that one out and had every break in the world to get that victory.
He's Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host, and contributes to NBC's Football Night in America, and a former NFL quarterback. Watching the Rams, lack of offensive line, no running game. Cooper Kupp's on pace for 190 catches. I mean, if you're Odell Beckham Jr., of all of the teams here that you can go to when you're healthy,
all right,
who is number one on that list that you would say that's where you want to go?
I mean, it's not the Rams right now. I know all the other things are the Rams, right? Hey, they got his locker. He loves them. They love him. He loves living in L.A., all of that. But, I think to the point you're asking here in the question is just like, if he wants to set himself up for a payday and, a big contract for 2023 or 2024 and so on, I don't know if the Rams are there. A little bit like we talked about the Colts there. I got real questions. The Rams, like you said, the offensive line, it's not the same. They lost people there. The running game is non-existent. And then a little like we were talking with the Colts offense too, there's no element that scares you. Cooper Kupp's really good, but he's not the kind of guy that scares you 70 yards down the field. He's the guy that scares you 5, 10, 15 yards downfield with the occasional tactical down the field shot. So they don't have anybody to open up the offense. And right now, McVay can't find that one thing that kind of stresses the defense out, right? To then play off of that and compromise you. You know, in the years past with like Jared Goff, right? It was the speed sweep and the outside zone, and he kept you out of balance and out of whack with that, and he could develop a bunch of plays off of that. Last year, play action pass and a little running the ball opened up everything. Nobody ran more play action pass and threw the ball down the field more than they did, but that opened up all the Cooper Kupp and easy underneath stuff and made it all look great. Right now, there's none of that lack of pass protection and offensive line play. Like, I'm concerned with the Rams. I mean, they're no way Super Bowl caliber. They are low level, barely get in the playoffs and in the NFC type of team to me right now.
Best team in California is who?
Ooh, I just want to make sure it's the 49ers.
Okay.
I don't care that the 49ers are 2-2. The 49ers are one of the best teams in football. And as long as Jimmy G doesn't do things that we saw in Denver a few weeks ago, they're going to win the majority of their games. And even last week, I mean, again, it wasn't great on Monday night. I can go back to the first half and show you a handful of plays and go, damn, can the guy be any more open? Can he just serving it up for you, the wide open receivers, and the game you should be up by 14 or 17, and instead it's 17-9 late in the third quarter. Like, how the hell does that happen? So, but I do think that they'll figure it out with him, and of course it's early for him here too, and I think the 49ers, their roster is as good as anybody in the league. It's right up there with the Eagles and the Dolphins and the Bucks as far as most talented teams in the league.
Why does it feel like Jerry Jones is trying to push Dak Prescott to get back sooner, and in the meantime talk about how great Cooper Rush is?
Right.
So I'm trying to understand his logic of you love this quarterback, man, we're surprised, and he's playing great, but he keeps giving us updates on Dak and hoping he'll come back against the Rams.
Yeah, I do think he, put a little unwanted or unneeded pressure on the situation at first. And again, they're going to need Dak Prescott. This is one of my pet peeves of the week. There's two things on social media. Is Jared Goff better than Matthew Stafford? Like, what? Like, get the hell out of here, okay? Like, that thing started. Are we kidding me? Come on now. We've lost our mind. We're going to be such prisoners in the moment. And what I want to tell everybody is Detroit's offense has more talent than the Rams, really. So that's the other thing, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But come on. And then the other thing here is Cooper Rush and the Dak Prescott quarterback controversy. Like, come on now. Let's get out of town in here. First off, the thing I want to say is, Dan, if Dak Prescott played the way they are playing the last few weeks and put up the stat line that Cooper Rush is putting up, we'd all be going, is something wrong with Dak and the offense? What's going on? But now they've won the game because we didn't expect it, and it's, maybe there's a controversy. And then that's where, I think Jerry Jones didn't help the situation out. But, hey, they're playing great on defense. They're playing balanced football. They got a few tricks every game to help Cooper Rush and company out, where that's a pet peeve of mine to go, where are those tricks when the starter's in there? Or when the starter's in there, let's not just go, well, he's better, so let's throw it 45 times a game and lose balance. They seem to fall into that trap. The Cooper Rush has played well, but don't rush it back with Dak Prescott, to your point. The Cowboys are better than I expected. They're a real player in the NFC. The big picture is more important here, and Cooper Rush, it's been good, but I was at the Giants game in person. There was plenty of completions there to be had. That game shouldn't have been that close. Last week he threw two bad interceptions against Washington that got called back that had nothing to do with the play. He just got lucky that they got called. They'll need Dak to make the big-time Dak plays as we get going on here, and it's a great job by Cooper Rush, but I don't understand why Jerry did that either, Dan.
Great to talk to you as always, Chris.
Thanks, buddy. Tell the guys I said hello.
We were on a topic to start the show, strange names that maybe you went to high school with or college with. Did you have somebody like bend over, April showers? Did you?
Man, I feel like I did it. I'm choking. I grew up at Ida Fuda. Yes. Yeah, that was a real name. So that one, I haven't pulled that one out of my brain in a long time there. But yeah, that was growing up. That was definitely one of the ones that stuck out.
Well, because Paulie said no offense, and I said, wait, is there somebody named Noah Fence?
There's got to be, right?
There's one person.
One?
One person in the world named Noah Fence. And then
Wow.
there's quite a few gymnasiums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of bend overs.
That's which is crazy. How does that even happen? You'd think a parent would stumble on that and just go, "That doesn't sound right. Let me move on to another name."
Yeah. You think so.
But I like it. Deep thoughts by Dan
Yes,
Patrick and the
absolutely.
Danettes. I like it.
Absolutely. Thank you, buddy. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too, guys.
That's Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk. Eat a Fuda.
Is that Italian?
Eat a Fuda. Eat the Fuda.
Man, it's crazy because Noah Fant is so close
To Noah Fant.
to Noah Fant.
Mm.